What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an Arsenal inventory update to do for you guys. Vinyl this time, and I have a nice stack of gory and spacey death metal goodness to run through here today. But first, what we're listening to in the background. Suffocation, self-titled album. This is a very, very underappreciated album in the Suffocation discography, and I'm hopeful that at some point Relapse will reissue this like they have some of the other Suffocation Relapse titles in recent memory. But yeah, if you haven't heard the self-titled Suffocation album, this album is fucking great. Alright, this first record I'm going to show you here is a compilation release from 2018 that I think is definitely suitable for fans of gore grind and death metal craziness. This is Cattle Decapitation with medium rarities. Yeah, this was released in 2018 through Metal Blade Records, and this is pretty much a compilation of B-sides, unreleased tracks, cover songs from the vast majority of Cattle Decapitation's existence. There is a lot to cover on this particular release because a lot of the songs are very, very quick and fast, back to the human jerky homivore era of this band, back when they were pretty much straight up grind and gore and all that other shit. But it's very, very intriguing to see the evolution of this band get to the way it has been. I mean, once you hear tracks like Chili Dispenser and Diarrhea to Dahmer, to songs like An Exposition of Insides and Cannibalistic Invasivorism, it's just crazy to see the evolution of what Cattle Decapitation sounded like then to what Cattle Decapitation sound like now, and I think it's really, really crazy. You got a Carcass cover on here of Burnt to a Crisp, which I think is really, really cool. But yeah, this is definitely a release to whet the appetite for any Cattle Decapitation fan. If you're waiting on a brand new full length for them, which I'm pretty sure they're working on, but this should tide you over until then. I definitely think this is a worthy release for Cattle Decapitation fans. But anyway, here's the front cover. Love this album cover art. Wes Ben Scotter once again did the album cover art here. Definitely feels like the Cattle Decapitation of old with a cover like this. I even got a shirt of this album cover when I saw them live with Suffocation last year. Really, really fun stuff. Back cover with all the tracks and information. There you see the Ouroboros that you best know Cattle Decapitation for. Comes with a printed lyric sheet with credits, track listing and lyrics for all the songs. And it's intriguing to know that this has pretty much what every song came from, all the respective lineups, so on and so forth. And this came out on multiple vinyl color variations, internationally and in the US. And I got this version, which is somewhat of a, I want to say this is the rare, or medium rare. I don't remember what variant this is specifically, but it's a brown vinyl with a dark oxblood red in the very, very center, which I think is a very interesting vinyl color variant, to say the least bit. But yeah, you see you have more grooves on this side because of all the grindcore length songs, and on this side you have the more contemporary modern era Cattle Decapitation stuff, which I think is really, really cool. But yeah, if you're a Cattle Decapitation fan, this is definitely mandatory purchasing for you if you want to know more about this band's history or just get some of their collectible classic songs. So yeah, Medium Rarities by Cattle Decapitation. Check this one out. Gore of one kind, Gore of another kind. I'm very happy that this got a vinyl release. This is DISGORGE with Forensic. Yeah. I believe this is their second full-length album from 2000, and this is a 2018 vinyl reissue through Parasitic Records, and yeah. For those of you who just don't happen to know who DISGORGE are, of course this is DISGORGE from Mexico. There are lots of bands that have the DISGORGE name in them, but two of them stand out to me. One of them being, of course, from California, the other being from Mexico. One band having a brutal death metal sound, the other band having a straight up nastier, filthier, grindier death metal sort of sound for them. And of course, this is the second album from DISGORGE, and definitely it's a lot more darker, a lot more sinister, and a lot more depraved sounding. I mean, the thing that sets this DISGORGE apart from many other sort of bands is the fact that they have a very distinct detail when it comes to lyrics, songwriting, and creativity. The vocals are just so nasty, guttural, and vomitous. It's very uncomforting to listen to these lyrics, and these vocals sound as gross and as nasty as they do. But I mean, listening to songs like Jism, Adipose Carbonation, Jaundice of Hookworm, Crevice Fluxworts, even the closing track, Silk Sphincter Anal Lumen, which features a guest vocal appearance from George Corpse Grinder Fisher of Cannibal Corpse, which is fucking insane. But I love that aspect of this album. I think these songs are great. This album still holds up very nicely, and I definitely would keep up the argument of which DISGORGE happens to be better than the other. But yeah, this is a fucking great album. But anyway, here's the front cover. Of course, very freaky album cover art here. A little bit of a touch-up for 2018 with a reboot cover. A silver DISGORGE logo. Back cover with track listing and credits. More gory imagery and design. I think my good buddy Justin Stubbs did the layout work for this one, which I think is fucking incredible. Here you have a lyric sheet with lyrics for all the songs, thanks and credits. Yeah, more lyrics, the band member photos in question. I believe this is limited to 500 copies. There was also a cassette tape version. The vinyl version had a somewhat radioactive green with splatter color, but I was able to get the standard black vinyl. I'm not even going to show you side B because it's pretty fucked up. You're going to have to buy the vinyl itself in order to see it, but you'll get what I'm talking about. But yeah, DISGORGE Mexico has never ever apologized or compromised their sound or style for anybody, and I hope they keep it that way for many years to come. But yeah, DISGORGE Forensic, check this one out. Keeping up with the goriness, we have a death metal classic that recently just got a vinyl reissue. I remember getting the tape version, the CD version, many years ago, and I'm very happy that this got a vinyl variation. It needed it. It's fucking great. This is gutted with all Bleed for Us to Live. Yeah, Bleed for Us to Live. Yeah, this is a 2018 reissue through Repulsive Echo Records, and this is the debut full-length from them from 1994, and this is a very important and influential album in American death metal, because there was just a lot of great things to be heard about this record. Definitely one of the earliest, one of the catchiest, one of the nastiest sort of death metal records to have ever existed from the 90s. I definitely feel more people need to pay attention to a release like this and show it some love, because this has really held up well throughout the years, and seeing this reissue work get sound as great as it does, be as playable as it is, I think it's really killer. And yeah, the album itself still holds up very nicely. Listening to songs like Bleed, Nailed to the Cross, Chopped Up at the Altar, Death Before Dismember, absolutely killer stuff. Great vocals, great musicianship, just an overall entertaining record all the way through. And I think all this time later, this is definitely a record that's going to be listened to by many more death metal fans throughout the course of existence. But yeah, Bleed for Us to Live is a great death metal record, and definitely something worth paying attention to. So anyway, here's the front cover. Very glossy jacket here. Love this album cover art. Very badass. Back cover here with track listing, band member photo, Repulsive Echo Records. Comes with a poster of the artwork, which I think is very cool. Got a printed inner sleeve here with band photo collages, which I think is really cool. Lyrics, credits for all the tracks. And this is limited to 1,000 copies. I have number 217 out of 1,000, and I was lucky enough to score the tricolor stripe version, which I think is fucking beautiful. Red in the middle, blue on the left and right sides. Very, very badass. Sounds great. This label did a bang-up job with the vinyl presentation. Yeah. I got this in the US from my very good friend Adam of Cardiac Arrest at a Death Dealer Distro. If you want to, I think he gets copies. I believe Desert Wasteland Productions in the United States gets copies as well, if you're trying to find it in the US. If you live internationally, definitely check out Repulsive Echo for more information. But yeah, Bleed for Us to Live is a classic piece of death metal, and I cannot stress enough how great this album is. So Bleed for Us to Live by Gutted, check this one out. Okay, next up we have a demo from last year I want to say this came out last year, and this got a bunch of attention, and I think this band is going to be getting even more attention for many more years to come. This is Superstition with Surging Throngs of Evil's Might. Yeah. This is put out through 20 Buck Spin, and if you're not familiar with Superstition, they are based out of New Mexico, and they play this very straight up, nasty, riff-heavy sort of style of death metal. I really like what this band brings with their style of death metal. It's very unique, it's very creative, and it's very bone-crushing. I love the 4 songs that are on this demo. Death's Fuming Passage, Outer Mutation, the title track, and Grave Portals. There's just a lot of great things coming out from this record. I love the lyrics, I love the vocals, and I love the musicianship. I know they also put out a promo sometime last year also as well, just to get people excited and hyped up for what is going to be coming soon from this band. Of course, 20 Buck Spin is going to be putting out the full-length material from them, and I can't wait to hear more from them. But if you haven't heard Superstition, this is some really, really creative death metal, and I can't recommend this enough. Anyway, here's the front cover. Love this artwork here. Uncoated stock on the jacket. Back cover. Track listing, and you have the band member photos. Of course, some of these dudes also play in Venom, if I'm not mistaken. Venom or some other sort of black metal projects. But yeah, it comes with this stocky lyric sheet, credits and information, blank on the back side. And there are 2 different vinyl versions. There was a smoke clear vinyl version, but I was lucky enough to score just standard black vinyl. Very good quality on this, has to be expected from 20 Buck Spin. Very, very good job here. But yeah, if you're into really, really killer death metal, Superstition are definitely a band to be on the lookout for. More great things are going to be coming from them in the future, and I can't wait to hear more. So yeah, Superstition, Surging Throng of Evil's Might. Definitely check this one out. Okay, this next record I'm going to show you here is something that I picked up live recently from the Decibel Magazine tour. Of course, for those of you who don't know, there is a Decibel Magazine tour going on right now with Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, Blood Incantation, and Necrot. Of course, it's going to be divided into 2 separate sorts of things, with Cannibal Corpse headlining one run and Immolation headlining one run. I'm jealous of those of you that are going to get to see Immolation in the coming weeks ahead, but yeah. Went to that tour, had a great time. Cannibal Corpse was easily put on one of their best live sets. Eric Rutan playing guitar with them was an easily seamless transition. Sounded great. I enjoyed Morbid Angel. Necrot was awesome, and as I was hoping, Blood Incantation was awesome. But they had something very special to be selling on the tour right now, which is pretty much the only way you can get a hold of this, and after the tour is over, they will have copies to sell on their web store. But until then, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is Blood Incantation with Live Vitrification. Yeah, this is a self-release through the band, and originally this got put out as a live tape with some noise and ambient stuff on the B-side, But what live vitrification is pretty much the two Vitrification of Blood songs, Part 1 and Part 2, played together simultaneously, uninterrupted, and I believe this was taken from a live performance that they did at St. Vitus in New York City, New York. But if you've ever seen Blood Incantation live, you know that this is a band that can pull off playing really long songs live, and they have played this Vitrification of Blood song live easily. It sounds just as great as it does on record in a live setting, and I think this is a very, very cool little release for anybody that wants to get the Blood Incantation live experience. Of course, in 2019, we're going to get a brand new full-length from Blood Incantation, but until then we have this cool little self-release, which I think is a very, very cool way to give something back to the fans. I definitely would recommend picking this up and buying a copy and just playing it loud and enjoying it for your own enjoyment. But yeah, don't try to sell this on Discogs or flip it for any prices, because the band will call you out and embarrass you, I think. Yeah. But yeah, let me show you this packaging here. Clear sleeve, gold screen print on this thing, which I think is very, very nice. You have the back cover on here, which is also neat because it has the live history of Blood Incantation playing shows ever since Starspawn came out. Of course, you have this little dude here. His name is Larry, by the way. I had no idea that this dude was even a mascot, or he even had a name, which I think is really, really cool. But yeah, something to whet the appetite of anybody looking forward to more Blood Incantation. To contact Blood Incantation, concentrate, which I think is fucking awesome. And I believe this is limited to 1,000 copies. No copy is different from one another. They're all the same, and they all come on this really nice crystal clear vinyl. And as you can see, there is a B-side screen print of Larry himself looking all badass. You have the little record center label here, which I think is very nice. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to see it, but on the dead wax, you have "You Are the Stargate" on that, etched on there on both the A side and the B side, which I think is fucking killer. But yeah, this is a very, very cool release from the band, and I cannot recommend this enough to anybody who is a Blood Incantation fan. But yeah, this is a great, great release. Live Vitrification from Blood Incantation. Go check this one out. And we are entering Holy Grail territory for this last one that I'm going to show you. I've been on the hunt for this particular album for quite some time, and when I found it in the US for no less than 20 bucks, I was extremely excited and happy that I finally had this, because I think this is easily one of the greatest death and thrash metal bands of all time, and I'm looking forward to hearing more new material from them in 2019. This is Ares Kingdom with Incendiary. Yeah. Ares Kingdom with Incendiary. This is their second full-length album from 2010. And this is the Die Hard edition put out through Nuclear War Now. And, yeah. Of course, if you know Ares Kingdom, I believe they're based out of Kansas City, Kansas, Missouri, whatever. And this is the band that features the great Chuck Keller on guitar. Of course, you know Chuck Keller best for his work with Order of Chaos, and this was one of his projects that he did soon afterwards. Of course, this band put out a really killer debut album with Return to Dust, but Incendiary, I feel, is that much better and that much stronger of a release. I mean, listening to songs like Descent of Man, Ashen Glory, Beasts That Perish, Gathering the Eagles, this is an absolutely fantastic album all the way through and through. I consider this to be the best Ares Kingdom album, and considering that this album will turn 10 next year, this album still holds up very, very well. And I would definitely recommend this to anybody that ever wants to get into Ares Kingdom, and I think this is an absolutely killer release. But yeah, this came on a very cool slipcase. There you have the front of the slipcase. Back of the slipcase. I'm going to take the record out because there's quite a lot to unpack here with this thing. But yeah, here's the actual album cover itself. Very cool album cover art. Back cover here with track listing and credits. Killer gatefold with band member photos and credits and all that stuff. Comes with this gigantic booklet with lyrics for all the songs. Very badass artwork and photography on this thing. Comes with a poster, which you can hang a different sort of way here. We have it upside down, sorry about that. But yeah, very, very cool poster. Beautiful artwork here. Comes with a sticker. Very, very badass. And a back patch with some silver printing on it, which I think is really neat. Also comes on a printed inner sleeve with some collage photos, which I think is really, really badass. I love that they put Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino on the back of this one, which I think is entertaining as hell. And this version I got comes on a picture disc. There you see the picture disc vinyl. Very, very cool. Back cover of the picture disc. Sounds great. Nuclear War Now did a bang up job with this, and definitely I'm very, very happy to own my favorite album by Ares Kingdom on vinyl. But yeah, I can't recommend Ares Kingdom enough if you're into classical death thrash. I think Ares Kingdom are legendary, great, great stuff. But yeah, Ares Kingdom, Incendiary, go check this one out. And with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. I'm going to leave you some links in the description box to some of the bands that I talked to you about here in this video. If you happen to have heard or own any of these releases, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and we can go from there. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Army out.